May I give you a little high vibrational spray?
Yes.
I like to just, set that and then give you a good hands. Let's just get a nice wipe going on you as well.
This like clears me out.
Yeah, just kind of, it's like, let's make sure that we're getting your energy and not
what I picked up for the
yeah,
day.
exactly.
Yeah.
For everybody else you're talking to, because you're water, so water is a great conductor. I want to be reading for you, not everybody you've walked through.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when I look at your hands, we've got your left hand and right hand. They are wired into the opposite sides of your brain, okay? So the feminine, the masculine. And if you'll notice already, look at the difference in your hand width. All right, this is definitely a more, now granted you strum with your right hand, but you've got a different hand shape on the receptive, okay? So on your receptive side, you're very much artistically influenced. So you've got a double water signature there. All right, so with that, again, water is receptivity, it's yin, it's chaos.
Yeah.
All right, the right hand over here is what then comes down and learns how to impose structure over. Okay?
Okay.
But the darkest part of it, you've been in, in your right hand, you've been in more of a survival mode. When you've got an earth heart, this is somebody who's very focused and concentrated on bringing things into being. Okay? But the reason I also call it survival is, as an adult, this tends to happen in different periods of your life for good and for bad reasons. So you've got a combination of fire and water, which both tend to be more on the intuitive axis. So it's like, all right, you do better getting information in and then doing something with it. Okay? So it's like you are better for being inspired. If a situation inspires you, you're going to write and create, and you're going to come up with a story around what happens to you. All right? With the fire heart, you're going to go, that's my visionary explorer. I call my fires my Christopher Columbus, and I'm not talking genocidal maniac. All right? Yeah, you're going to take a creative leap. Fire sees things first. It's only 13% of the population. So that means 87% of the world doesn't see it yet. Christopher Columbus wanted to go left when everybody else was going right, okay, to get to the East Indies, determined to find a shortcut, all right? So you're going to see it first. It's going to be an intuitive leap, not a logical one. For you, timing is less of an issue than it is trusting the outcome. Because what I started to say is, with Christopher Columbus, the third and the real kick in the pants, he didn't discover the shortcut to the East Indies. So what you're setting out to accomplish isn't going to happen. It's going to take time and other people for you to understand why you went left instead of right.
This idea of whatever's going to happen, that I'm feeling all this energy of good things and grandiose, almost dreamlike kind of thing going on, it's not going to turn out to be exactly how I envisioned the dream to be.
No, and that's why we're talking today. But here's what you need to understand. There is the big way, the visionary explorer, when you can stop second guessing your choices and show up for what's in front of you and shape it, the gap between what it is now and what you envisioned it to be shortens. Okay? You are not meant to talk yourself out of the bigger or grandiose. You are meant to dream big. It's a combination of that plus practical application that makes the imagined real.
10,000 hours.
Yeah. There you go, the outlier. You put in, and right now, and guess what your 10,000 hours is? It's not in just one, like your music or something like that. It's relationship.
Yeah, totally.
Relationship. The relationships you are making right now are going to be the making of your career over the next 27 years. Okay?
Yeah.
The people that have been in your life are going to have to join you at a whole new level. Okay?
Okay.
If they can't join you at
Should
that
I
level,
include them? Yeah.
well, you know what? Just be you.
Okay.
And your job is to learn how to be in relationship, because one of the things that you have a challenge with is over-functioning or under-functioning. You're either doing too much or too little in a relationship. And that's guess what? Everybody has their relationship pattern. Everybody. So good to just know what your pattern is.
Yeah.
And go from there. You tend to lean towards the over give, over do, over function. But you get burned out there, and then you shut down and become. It's like, oh my God, it's the poor me.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, because you've given to depletion, and now you've got incredibly powerful emotions. They are what drive the engine of you. But then it's all about what kind of a shape do you give it. You navigate relationships based on the information coming back to you. So there's two things that are important for you to understand. One is what's coming back to you from other people is the level of relationship that you've achieved at this moment. All right, but there's always room for improvement, right? You can learn, you can add relationship skills, you can add conflict management, you can add self-esteem, all of which impact the quality of the relationship. So don't judge the person, judge the quality of the relationship. Are they a responsible enough person to meet you? Do they share your willingness to work on yourself, to improve, to contribute, take responsibility?
I feel like really damaged right now. With anytime I'm meeting someone, I tend to be talking about what I've experienced and my damage. And I don't like that, because what you speak into existence is what will be,
Well, hang on. Pain needs a witness. All right? So maybe you're not speaking your damage. Is it possible that you could frame that and look at it as a cathartic way to process some very painful things that happened?
Yeah, but I'm not choosing the right people to process that with.
That's good discernment. Then you want to choose better people to witness your pain.
Yeah, I've had so many people shut me down when I try to ask for help, or when I try to ask for, can I cry on your shoulder kind of thing,
Yeah.
And now I'm getting to the point where it's I can't, I'm shutting down.
Yeah.
And I'm getting mad at myself for talking and walking and breathing,
That's good awareness.
Yeah.
That's really good awareness.
If I was talking with someone and then they said, I don't like how you did that, or you didn't say thank you, or whatever it was,
The
then
criticism.
that would, later on, sure, I would get I wouldn't show it right now. No. But later on when I go home, boom, 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 vroom, vroom, vroom.
That's a trauma circle.
Yeah.
You need traumatic release. It's trapped in your body.
Yeah, and I've been
body.
Lately, when I feel these people making me feel like crap, I then turn it into something, obviously art or whatever it is, but lately, it gets dark. I know in my being I'm not the bad person, but I've done bad things. I'm trying to grapple with the angel and the devil right now. The angel is I am a god, and then the devil is no, you are dead.
Yeah.
You don't exist. And nobody wants you to exist.
That transformational tension is the pearl that will ultimately come from all of this pain. All right? I can't even begin to tell you, Hunter, how wise you are to differentiate between the behavior and the person. All right? Most people, I know people my age that don't even get that. Of course there are behaviors, we all have them. There are moments I'm selfish and insensitive or whatever. That does not mean I'm a bad person. If you're choosing to be around people who are manipulating you, by shame and blame to try and get you to behave in the way they want you to behave, you want to be mindful of that and spend the least amount of time possible around that, and include more people who will not do that. You've attracted in people. When we hold a belief, we're like homing pigeons. We will find the people who will confirm that belief, even if it's one that we don't want. So we have to consciously break patterns.
Mm-hmm.
You
Last year
don't get
was
to
my
do
year
that.
of like
Mm-hmm.
death almost, like just like unemployed, like my lowest low, like on the couch for the whole year pretty much, like sleeping, just blah, and feeling bad about myself and feeling like I didn't belong, I don't exist, and I still feel that now, but I'm exactly what you said, I'm angry now. I said like, I don't want to, I've been sad all my life, I've been depressed, I've been all of that, it's been underlying in me for a long, long time, but no, you're not, I don't, if anything, I'm angry.
Yeah.
I don't want to be sad anymore, I want to be angry, which is not great.
You've got anger, which is natural and normal, particularly when you've had a traumatic childhood or a traumatic experience. Anger is something that consolidates us and helps us compress ourselves down into and say, you know, we're firm enough to say no. Yeah. They list the emotional vibration, and anger is part of what pulls you up out of depression. So you're moving up the emotional scale, and you get to be angry, okay? And you need to be around people who can hold your anger. I think, didn't I tell you that's why the men's group did the push? Yeah. And it's like, this is a place where when you're stuck, you need something other than your mind, you know, to be able to push through and get to a different place. This is where your intuition is going to, you know, take over. Yeah.
A couple months ago I was angry. Now I had the dream-like thing happen recently of like the moments in my life of meeting these influential people. You know?
But not until after you got angry, okay? The universe in its brilliance, you went through depression, pulled yourself out into anger, okay? And now there's enough of the adult in you to feel safe expanding out onto a bigger stage. But it is going to bring up this trauma. You came here to learn about people who give with strings. Okay? There's a difference between give and receive, a flow, and giving with strings. And it's like, there's no expectation with flow. There is an expectation and a manipulation. And you came here to learn what the difference is and help model a different behavior. In other words, you don't have to martyr yourself. Okay, you don't have to give, and then sit back pissed off because they're not giving back. Part of that is discernment in choosing good people to be in relationship with. And that's what I mentioned in the car right here. It's like, okay, what's being lit up for you right now more than anything else is relationship.
Yeah.
Are you pulling
like
in
I
people?
give to my agent, and then she offered me to give, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there were no strings attached, right?
I
You
just was
didn't.
giving,
You were being loyal to her because that's who you are. She returned the favor by going, well, here, then come with me.
Yeah.
Here's an opportunity. Feel the difference in that versus the give and receive.
Everything is a gift.
You've got Saturn in Pisces. You came to help bring about a more utopian society. You did.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the way that you bring it about is you feel the pain of what not having that is like.
Not having what?
Not having a more, you know,
I have to create the world, my dream world.
Yeah, you have to create the gift without strings.
Be the love you wish to see in the world.
And be discerning. If people can't or won't join you there, you've got to have an 80-20 rule. 20% of your time is spent on the people that can't or won't right now. That's your guideline.
Yeah.
Okay? The gift without strings. All right? The flow. I give naturally what feels good to give to you. You give naturally what feels good to give to you. Nobody's keeping a checklist.
Yeah.
And you can check in on a regular basis. Does this still work?
Yeah.
Does this feel good?
Yeah.
What do you need to be different? And that's an easy conversation. That's not a you owe me. There's no you owe me.
Yeah.
Not from you, not to you. And that's what you're here to help put in place. And
yeah, even these people that, you know, I've had some really traumatic, bad experiences. I call everyone lovers. My lovers that have abused me and taken advantage in a way. I still feel for them.
Yes. That's your nature, okay? Right? You're caught in looking at things from what it cost you, all right? That you loved these people, and they took that love and abused the privilege, all right?
Yeah.
What you're focusing on the pain that it caused you, and that is a place that does require attention, because we can't move past something until pain has a witness. When it's unwitnessed, we literally get locked in a trauma circle, okay? And that's the loop in our brain.
Yeah.
So once pain has a witness, and you had a chance to say it out loud and had it heard and experienced by other people who can carry it, and you have to choose those people carefully, okay? Then you can move on to the place that in you that understands you have, with your Saturn sitting where it is, you have a compassion for mankind that is extraordinary.
Yeah.
Behavior unacceptable, person never unacceptable. Okay? So it's like the soul in you recognizes the soul in them. Does not make the behavior okay. Never makes the behavior okay. The fact that it bothers you and that you see it is part of your contribution on a big level. The more you do something positive with it, you can focus. The survival end of our brain will have us focused on what we hate, what we hurt, what we don't like, what we didn't get, what we don't,
That's
respect.
Survival.
That's survival, because it's compression.
Like anger.
Rage. Anger has a focus and a purpose. Rage is powerless.
Chaotic.
Rage, it's absolutely infantile. But what we're seeing in the world right now are people who don't know their power expressing helpless rage. Anger is taking all of those things that you don't like and saying, I'm going to make a difference with what I do here. The small part of our brain would get focused on judging somebody else and right, but the bottom line is it's about turning that lens on ourselves and seeing where do we want to free ourselves from the small in order to get bigger. Okay? So it's like, all right, if this bothers me, well then what can I contribute that is the antidote to that? What's my contribution?
Yeah.
Without overgiving, where can I make a difference? And that 1 degree, just in this moment.
Day to day.
Yeah.
Second to second, minute to minute.
Exactly.
Hour to hour.
Where you start with compassion for yourself. Compassion for if you've got
Breathing.
empathy. Exactly. If you've got empathy or compassion for somebody who's committed something horrible, doesn't mean that you're discounting the person it happened to. You can have compassion for both. And people live in a black and white yes or no. Humans all have a soul. Recognize the soul, say no, and shape the behavior with how you hold it. Not by telling them what to do, because you don't want to be told what to do, do you?
No.
Or manipulated, or emotionally blackmailed.
Yeah.
So in how you show up for other people, how can you show up for other people that raises the bar? And that's, start by honest. Okay, not a fake, pristine, perfect overlay. It's like, I'm angry, and I'm learning how to hold this. I'm angry and I'm holding it. Maybe not always well, but I'm dealing with it. Okay?
And I've been saying that.
Yeah, but that's informing other people how to be angry and do something healthier with it.
No, I've been doing that with my sister and with different people that have seen me and stuff.
Ding, 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 ding.
And I told that I was doing the work of, the depression, the suicidal, whatever it is,
Yeah.
the darkness.
Yeah.
And, I got into dance class, I got into, got an agent, and I started doing things with it, and then writing songs and dancing. I was telling my sister she was going through the same feelings, and she told her, and she's been calling me a lot lately, and I've been that person for her.
Yeah.
And I've just been telling her, you can't hold it, you gotta get it out, whatever it is, get it out, whether it's dancing, singing, even just recording a video of yourself, writing, whatever it is, like get it out of you, out of you, out of you. Scream, yell, anger,
grab
get
a pillow,
it out.
beat the pillow, you know.
Yeah, but she's like holding everything in.
No, it implodes.
And then blowing up. Yeah. And I was doing the same thing, so that's why I recognize it, you know.
And depression is frozen rage. Did you know that? One of the ways that they describe depression is frozen rage. When you don't, so anger coming out, again, applied is a healthy thing. Let me see your hands again. You've got crazy intuition, and see, you've got the game changer mark. So it's like, that's only 7% of the population, all right? And to have it with the M, that just dropped you down to 4% of the population. So when you say you have these grandiose dreams, well, something in you came in as a small set, 4%.
And I don't want, but I mean, right now I'm in the hero's journey.
You have to make the heroic choice day by day by day, because that is also there in your chart.
But even like me talking right now, like I said, I don't like the way I talk, I don't like the way I walk, but it's like I'm hearing my ego right now. Like even just like me saying I'm gonna be this, I know I'm going to be something, but I don't know, you know?
Look me in the eyes.
Yeah.
I work in Hollywood, and I work with a lot of big egos. You've got a pretty good balance with your ego, Hunter. It's there, but it's not running you. What I like is that you keep an eye on it. And that's going to be your saving grace over time. But ego is also necessary. It has a job to do. It just shouldn't run the show. Okay? And the way that you're wired, you're going to have enough moments that humble you, that will help keep you, you know, and temper you as a good human being rather than a runaway ego. But there's nothing wrong with saying that you came here to be part of a small group that will stand out. We're wired, everybody's wired for different things, you know, as far as, we're all wired for belonging, and once we belong, to have ourselves be seen as unique. But the way that we're unique, the way that we stand out is different. Like one person, she goes, well, you're just telling me everything I want to hear. And I said, well, how do I know what you want to hear? She goes, well, doesn't everybody? And I said, no. So the divine was able to give me information to
you
have
haven't
her
told
trust
me
it.
anything bad, like anything contrasting yet. And even, I feel like even if you did, I would just take that.
You just have heard it as not a criticism because it isn't. Contrast is not bad. It isn't, Hunter.
Yeah.
So you've got, well, here you want to hear something which you already know. You've got the addiction marker in your hand. Guess what? So do I. Come from a family with alcoholism in it. So it's like, if you grew up in that container, you've got that pattern around you. Choose it, don't choose it. I'm not an alcoholic, but that's a conscious choice. Every day.
Yeah, and just like psychologically, like trauma that you experienced as a child, like, you know, childhood neglect, like if you don't get attention, then you seek attention constantly. You know, there's like these kind of psychological science-based things that happen, you know, so.
There's the healthy or unhealthy ways. Everybody has trauma. Like life has trauma built in it. And we also have the ability to be resilient. But if we weren't taught coping skills of how to cope with the trauma, that's where we get stuck. And there's this impossible perfection that's put over it that is useless, except to create more trauma, creating a boon for the pharmaceutical industry. You know, but
what about this, like,
what?
This darkness that's continuing to follow me, whether it's in, like, you know, in experiences, people, and actually like the paranormal as well.
The good news is that is going to shift and change over the next 2.5 years, because you just, as far as the dark that's been following you, what you're feeling is not only your pain, but the empath in you is picking up the pain in the world. But that's because
definitely.
you're here to be a game changer. But if you've experienced some of these dark nights of the soul, when you step into the spaces, places, and relationships, because it isn't just one arena, it's a string of them, relationship after relationship over the next 27 years, when you step into that arena with compassion, knowing what it's like to feel so dark and so lost, you bring something incredibly powerful that is a game changer to anything you participate in. The strength that you've got going, Hunter, because the pain that you feel is not only yours, but it's cumulative. You feel the world's pain. Okay?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, when I was doing the research on your chart, there were moments when it's like my heart literally hurt. And it's like, oh, and you've taken it, and you're still here. Okay?
Yeah.
That's a game changer. This is what I call carbon into diamond. And you've been going through the compression that makes a diamond. Look at this. I got goosebumps all up and down. Okay? You've been going through a transformation process. It doesn't erase the pain, but it gives you a better understanding of what you've been going through.
Currently, I'm doing the work.
You are.
And I'm distracting. I still feel a lot of the pain, but I'm distracting myself.
You're
and
moving
I'm
through it.
continuously just like distracting myself. But then once I get a second to myself, I can just cry.
You actually do need to cry. As a man, be okay to have a complete and utter cry. Not just once, more than once. You found your way. All right? Your intuition, you're tapped into intuition, and you're doing a better job than you give yourself credit for. And there's a place in you that keeps looking for the conversation that's going to make the pain go away. It's going to lessen over time. It's like a tide going out. You're going to feel the wave of it crest, but then it's going to pull back.